locator. Troy Dunn brings relatives and loved ones together who have lost touch or have never even... We're going to show he's helping a son find the answer to a question that the son has wanted to ask his dad his whole life. Take a look.
I still believe that somewhere inside of you there's that little boy who wonders where his father went, or why he went. Have you thought through or talked through, if you do meet him, what you want to say to him?
You know, how come you chose not to be a part of my life?
Well, we should point out that Chris Zerbe was adopted and did not know his biological father. And Troy Dunn is with us, and we go back a long way. We've had a few experiences ourselves, Troy and I. So we welcome you both, Chris. Thank you for being with us. You never knew your father, and you only started searching for him, your biological father. You only started searching for him a few months ago. Why at this point in your life? How old are you now?
I'm 29.
So why now was it important?
I think a lot of it is just growing up and maturing. I got engaged September of '07 and was just married in April 19th of '08.
Congratulations.
And thank you very much. Amazing woman. But no, the fact that we were one day start our own family, and I knew that the Zerbe side of my family, we had twins in the family and we had diabetes, but I knew nothing about the Leonard side of the family, and so you know the fact that I'm going to be responsible for kids growing up and providing for a family. It was just one of those things where it would be nice to know, God willing, if you know we could maybe one day find out who my father was, just to kind of get the health background.
Sure. And Troy, you know, you see over probably you get over 1,000 cases, but this one you said moved you in a particular way, correct?
Yeah, actually in 20 years I've reunited 40,000, and we get about 3,000 emails a day from people searching. But his letter, you know, his mother died when he was 2 years old. He was trying to find his father, and, you know, having 7 children, the family thing's very important to me. And I just have the thought of somebody not having ever met their mother, having never met their father, I felt like it was a worthwhile ambition. You said that there were various scenarios that could happen if Chris was trying to find his father, and not all of them would be happy beginnings or happy endings. That's right, and I don't ever want people to think that everything turns out the perfect little Hollywood reunion ending. And I try to tell everybody in an effort to manage expectations, either I won't find him because I don't solve every case, or I'm going to find him and he's deceased, or I'm going to find him and he's alive and doesn't want to meet you, or I'm going to find him and he's alive and I'll reunite you. What happened in Chris's case? I found him and he was deceased.
And Chris, your reaction upon hearing that?
I mean, hearing that he'd found my father was a shock. I mean, it was just like the excitement and the anticipation. But then to find out that he'd passed away, you know, it was some disappointment there. But at least I had an answer, and so that was, you know, that was fulfilling to an extent that at least I knew.
Yeah. One of the things that was odd or coincidental is that you played basketball in college, and your father died playing basketball. Yeah. Very eerie.
It was, you know, I started playing basketball when I was in the 3rd grade, so that's, what, 8, 9 years old. And basketball was my life. And if you asked my family back in Wichita, Kansas, you know, they'd have thought basketball was the only thing I knew anything about. But you know, I got the opportunity to fulfill a dream and play at the University of Kansas for 2 years, and then to find out when my dad, you know, that he'd passed away, but he was playing basketball. It was just, wow. I mean, at least, you know, I knew he liked the game. I knew that he played and stuff like that. So it was a really
from somewhere, that passion.
Kind of interesting.
And Troy, you also delivered some good news to Chris, and we have a clip of that we'd like to share with everyone. Take a look.
You have a brother. Named Dustin.
Holy cow. Wow.
You have a sister named Kristen.
I have a sister too. Oh my gosh.
And they are all here.
Dustin? Dusty? How you doing? Nice to meet you, man. Wow.
Really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Kristen?
Oh my God. I'm so happy to join you.
It is an honor to meet you.
Wow. That is incredible news. And they're also here with us today. Please welcome Chris's brother and sister, Kristen and Dustin Leonard, to the show today. They're with us in the audience. My heart is
a lot of tears. Very moving for you.
Kristen, when you see that, it brings everything back.
It brings everything back.
So you had no idea?
No, I had no idea that he existed, and the fact that he existed is like a miracle.
Dustin, I'm sorry, dear.
No, go ahead.
Well, Dustin, you were with your father when he died. And what did you want Chris to know about your father?
I just wanted to tell you that he's a wonderful, wonderful father. And if he had any recollection that you were alive, he would have been there, right there with you. The moment you were born till now.
Well, why didn't he know?
He actually was never told, and our research verified that he never even knew he existed.
And what hearts, I mean, to just welcome this new part of your life. You all took a trip together. Am I understanding that? What was that like?
Yeah, Amy, my wife and I, we actually flew to Boston. Were picked up by a new cousin that I now have, and his fiance, and we drove to New Hampshire, and we walked into the house and got to meet all these new cousins and everything, and it was really cool because it was so comfortable. It was like we'd all known each other, and it was just another time we were getting together, but we got to go skiing and hang out and get to know each other, and it was just fabulous.
So your mother had died, and you were put up for adoption as an infant, and no one told your biological father that he had a son. What a story.
And now your life has changed.
Yeah.
It's changed. It's amazing. I mean, I've got a big family back home, and I feel like I've just taken a third of that family and just added that to my family. So my family is just enormous now.
I just want to ask you, because there are many people who are looking for their biological parents, and what's the best? You have successes and you have failures. What's the best piece of advice you can give?
You never find peace until you find all the pieces. And regardless of what your motivation might be, I think that even though he didn't get to find his father, he did. His father lives in this family that he's met, and they lost their father.
So if it concerns you, you should try.
You should absolutely try.
Not every adopted child wants to. It shouldn't be forced to.
That is true, but there are 6,000 illnesses that are hereditary, so you at least need medical information.
You should have the information even if you don't necessarily want to meet the parent.
Correct.
Right. Wow. Thank you for being on. Thank you for sharing your story. The locator is Saturday night on WETV. You check your local listener. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Most of you do know that I have an adopted daughter whom I just adore, but I have other children I have not acknowledged. These are my biological children. I'm so proud of all of you.